Welcome to Entrepreneurs and Fuego. We're broadcasting live from the office pile here in Phoenix at 2501 North 7th Street here in Phoenix, Arizona. Entrepreneurs and Fuego is the show where entrepreneurs get naked. Did you know that, Christina?
I did not.
You did not know that. You sound surprised. And you look surprised.
Actually, no, I'm not.
Well, exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you for not being surprised. But we get naked emotionally because we want to know what makes you tick as an entrepreneur. And so we're going to explore today what is that fuels your fire. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Oh, okay. I worked for, my previous life was in transportation, student transportation. I spent 14 years in various school districts. Started out at Kyrene when my kids went to kindergarten. I have a set of twin boys that are now 23. I went from bus driver to transportation director, finishing off my career at Glendale Union, and I retired 5 years ago. So when I retired, obviously I'm not old enough to retire, so I got bored. And I started my business, Big C Consulting Services, which is it's event planning and business services combination. Because of my background, that seemed to make sense. My husband is also my business partner, and he had 14 years in commercial printing, so that's where the two fit together.
The graphic part of your business, and I know that you do a lot of graphic artists. Where did that come from?
That was just me improvising for different events. Like I said, I worked for the school district, so there is no money in a budget at the school district. So it was just improvisation.
So they can't hire a graphic artist to do the things, and the next thing you know, raise your hand if you know how to draw or how to do graphic artists, and there you were.
Yep, exactly.
Is that kind of how it happened?
Yep.
All right, and so after you retired, you decided, all right, I'm going to go into business for myself.
Yeah.
And you go into business for yourself. Was there another alternative to go into business for yourself, or is that something that you wanted to do? Was there a little voice calling you inside of you going, go into business?
Well, funny you say that. I was actually conditioned to be an entrepreneur, I believe. When I moved to Arizona, I was 18 years old with my family, and my dad was having a very hard time finding a job here. My mother was a very pushy person, and she saw a lot of potential with me, and she pushed me and pushed me. By the time I was 19, I actually painted houses for a living. My mom helped me design the flyers, and I actually worked with real estate companies, one of them being Tom Traw, which is still in the West Valley. So at 19, that was my life.
So you had that entrepreneurship spirit since you were a kid, since you were young.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when you retire, that entrepreneurship spirit kind of was rekindled, and then you go into business for yourself. Mm-hmm. How did you find your first client?
Well, it's kind of odd because when you're coming out of one industry going into another, as a transportation director, you can hand out cards to anybody because they want them. They're actually looking for you. What I found out as I started this business was people weren't asking for my business cards. I had to go give them to them.
Sure.
My first client, funny enough, was Anna Brennan, who is now running for mayor again. She was running for mayor when I first started. And I handled her campaign. So that was...
So was it a personal relationship you had, or was it something that you just knocked on the door and said, hey, I can do this for you?
I was at a networking event. And Anna, if you have never met Anna Brennan, she is a personality all her own. I mean, she takes up the whole entire room. And the first thing she did was she came up to me, she shook my hand, hi, I'm Anna Brennan, I'm running for mayor, blah, blah, blah. My husband actually really took to her, and we started talking. Well, she was starting out with just nobody for helping her to run her campaign. And that's how we got started.
The subsequent clients that you got, were they referrals, or again, you sound to me like you're I got to knock on a lot of doors type of person. Is that what you did?
Yeah, I'm kind of old-fashioned that way. And I'm that way with even like my Facebook page or my social media or whatever. If I have shaken your hand, that means that I know you, and that's how we are Facebook friends. If I don't know you personally, generally there are those friend requests. I usually will follow up with them. I have to put a name with a face.
I don't understand this Facebook thing too much myself. I mean, I get people requesting to be friends. I have no idea who they are.
Yep.
And I'm like, should I accept? Should I not accept? I mean, why is somebody interested in my life type of thing?
Exactly. It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird. I mean, growing up, we didn't have the social media thing, and so it was more of a handshake type of situation.
Exactly.
And so you are kind of atavistic in that sense, that you like that old school, hey, I got to shake your hand, let's try to do business that way. That's kind of how you do it.
Exactly.
My phone is ringing over here. Where is this thing going? Okay, I got it. But anyway, so
I still take that approach with my business as well. Yeah.
Right on. That's good. All right. So how do you get your clients now? I mean, have you built a referral, a network of referral, or do you still find that you need to go out there and shake more hands and pound more doors, and et cetera, et cetera?
Well, it's a mixture of different variations. One is word of mouth. I have gotten a couple of different people through word of mouth. Most of the time they just Google me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. In my background, I work with a lot of software. I'm a software freak, okay? So, I mean, anybody can give me the worst of the worst software and I can figure it out. Don't ask me how I do that, I just can. And so search engine optimization, when it was first starting out, was like a big giant puzzle for me. And I can figure it out. And so mapping Big C Consulting Services onto Google Maps was a really huge step. And
all right, so let me ask you a question. So I get everybody and their mother comes to me and says, hey, I can get you on the first page of Google search.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, the page only has so many, entries,
Spaces.
so many spaces.
Yep.
If everybody is going to be on the first page and everybody's making the same promise, we're going to have a little bit of a real estate and crowded type of space, aren't we? I mean, so what are they talking about when they say, I can guarantee you? In fact, I get those things. I mean, you can say, I guarantee you'll be on the first page on Google.
Right, if you pay.
Oh, all right. So there are tricks to it.
Yes, if you pay. The thing with the internet search is I can get on the first page. If I Google Big C Consulting Services, that's all you're going to see is Big C Consulting Services. However, if you use a keyword such as any one of these that are on the front of my brochure, business cards, then you're going to get a mixture of whomever is doing business cards. Some of the time it depends on your location because of Google Maps pinging the businesses, and then it'll list them in a certain order, but they're still up at the top, the ones that have paid for the space.
All right.
So
you know better than I.
It's a big
it's
a big puzzle.
And that's all good. But let's talk a little bit about you. We ask entrepreneurs that come into the show, Christina, what fuels their fire? What gets them going? And we've had varied answers, all the way from, I was born to do this, to discipline, to tenacity, et cetera, et cetera. What gets you up in the morning? What is that fuels your fire?
It's a variety of things. First off is my family. They rely on, just the flexibility of me being an entrepreneur and having my own business. While my boys were young and I worked for the school district that they actually attended, I actually drove their buses.
Wow.
I had a little bit of flexibility for them. My husband, however, did work a 9 to 5, and it was actually at night. So he didn't have that flexibility, and he feels that he missed out on a lot of their growing up, which he did. And as parents, you end up doing that. You miss out on a lot of your kids' lives when you have a full-time job. Now they're older now, but that doesn't mean that they don't need me. You know, I mean, you've seen me running that. Yeah,
My mom is always a mom. My mom still calls me, you know, every day or every other day. She calls me to tells me that she sent me an email, and then she proceeds to tell me what's inside the email. That's what my mom does. It says, "Mom, you don't, you know, I want to talk to you, but the purpose of the email is that we can communicate in a different
way.
form. But
right.
you know, you call me and you tell me what's in the email. I appreciate it. It's so cute."
Right.
So a mom is always a mom, man.
Yeah.
So and so that's good. So. You're very responsible. You're matriarch, if you will, because it sounds to me like you kind of run your family, and your family looks to you for comfort and for an umbrella and for protection. Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And for coordination of things and everything else.
Right.
And I think that's tremendous. And so, going into the future, what is your biggest challenge right now? What is the biggest challenge that you face right now?
Time. I run short on time. I try to, you know, I can only take in so many clients at a time because I only have so much time. That is my biggest challenge. I, in the future, hope to grow, you know, a little bit further to where I can hire help that I can pay. I usually use interns, but I have to go around their schedule too. They're in school, so.
Right.
But that's probably my biggest challenge.
So duplicating yourself, cloning yourself to satisfy the demand that is out there. So in other words, are you turning down jobs right now because you don't have time, or is it something where you're stretching yourself so thin that, gosh, I gotta take care of this client, and I know this other client is coming up, etc. I gotta take this other account.
Yeah, everything is on a deadline. With the printing, actually, I just got done with these flyers here, and this guy was, this is for Results Personal Fitness on 24th Street in Thomas, and he has two businesses that he's trying to balance right now. So he wanted these like yesterday, and I've been fighting for the last 3 weeks trying to get those done. And so when I take on a new job like that one, I already know that that's going to be at least 3 weeks tied up with that one. So I try to overlap, you know, one print job from another, and then the events kind of fill in the, you know, the downtime and stuff.
Have you had clients that you say, you know what, I like you, but I'm not going to take your business because you're just an asshole?
I do have one.
I mean, I hate to put it that way, but you know, some of us are way overly demanding that you know, no money in the world is gonna satisfy or is gonna make it good. You know, I'm not gonna do this job happily. You know.
Yep.
Do you have?
I do. I have had one, and unfortunately.
It's not worth
it. You know, it was good money, but it really wasn't worth it. This individual was very old school. He would not use email, refused to use email.
Oh my God! So how do you give him a proof? How do you?
You have to print it and go down there and have him proof it. And then he was an older gentleman, so he would make changes and then forget that he made those changes. So I would have to continually make sure that I had the previous copy and I would have him initial it. And so in that, you know, running back and forth and having to take time away from the other clients to, you know, completely service this one, no, it wasn't worth it. And yes, I did.
Well, I can tell you, you've done some work here for the Office Pile, and you have been nothing but on time, patient. So you got to be patient with a guy like me, because I'm OCD, right? I'm like, well, can you move this like 1,000 millimeters up, and then I step back and I look at the screen and I'm like, yeah, move it a little bit to the left, a little to. And so, look, I understand about different clients, but you've been nothing but patient, and I really wish. Oh, see that catch? Wow, that was way over. I mean, that was really a bad pitch, as a matter of fact, but you've been nothing but excellent, and I really would want to recommend yourself because, full disclosure, you are a member here at the Office Pile, and the work that you've done for us in terms of our logos. You did the Naked Networking logo. You did the Entrepreneurs and Fuego logo, as a matter of fact, for the show. So people that are listening to this, that are watching this, whenever the intro and the outro come out, that is you.
Yep.
That is you that designed that. And because of that, we're going to give you what we give all of our guests. Christina, we're going to give you a little t-shirt. You can give it to one of your kids, or you can keep it to yourself. It's an Office Pile t-shirt, which is really cool. And this is for you.
Thank you.
This is for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on a short notice.
Yeah.
But thank you, because we wanted to get your story in. Your story is compelling, and I know that you're a very hardworking woman, and we wish you nothing but success for you.
Thank you.
And with that, we're out.
Welcome to the